Prayer in the field of silence. When the three types of stress affecting the human body. In the stillness of this field, where silence speaks louder than words and the unseen currents of life weave their endless tapestry, there arises a question whispered into the depths of the heart. What is the weight that bends the human form? What are the unseen pressures that carve lines into the face and shadows into the soul? The human body, miraculous and resilient, was not made to endure constant assault, yet it learns to adapt, to bend without always breaking. Stress becomes its silent companion, and yet not all stress is born equal. There are three rivers from which its waters flow: physical, chemical, and emotional, each carving a path, each leaving marks both subtle and profound. First, there is the burden of the body, the tangible impact of a world that sometimes collides with flesh and bone. Physical stress announces itself loudly, through the sharp crack of an injury, the sudden jolt of an accident, the slow ache of trauma carried long after the event has passed. The body remembers. Muscles tighten, scars linger, breath shallows, as if the body itself whispers caution with every movement. In this silence, one sees how deeply matter holds memory, how a fall or blow does not simply fade but continues to echo within tissue, within cells, within the very posture of being. And yet, the body is also a master of resilience. With every scar there is also repair. With every fracture there is knitting. With every collapse there is a chance for renewal. Second, there is the burden of chemistry, less visible yet no less powerful. It comes with the subtle poison of toxins breathed into the lungs, with the invisible residue of pesticides settling into food, with the heavy imprint of pollutants drifting in air and water. It arrives through viruses and bacteria, those unseen invaders who take up residence and shift the body's inner rhythms. Sometimes it comes disguised as indulgence, the burning fog of a hangover, the slow depletion of essential nutrients ignored in the rush of life. The body works tirelessly in silence, metabolizing, filtering, repairing, yet the weight grows heavy when the stream of chemicals becomes a flood too great to contain. And still, the intelligence of the body is vast. Even against the tide, there is detox, there is balance, there is a striving toward equilibrium, as though life itself is always reaching for wholeness. And then, most insidious of all, there is the burden of the heart and mind. Emotional stress. This is the one that hides behind the mask of smiles, the one that nestles into the night when thoughts circle endlessly and refuse to rest. It comes with the turbulence of life events, the joy of birth intertwined with sleeplessness, the grief of death etched into every breath, the sharp turn of a sudden loss, the trembling uncertainty of financial collapse, the disorientation of moving from one home to another. It comes with the complexity of human bonds, the ache of betrayal, the sting of misunderstanding, the heaviness of conflict. But most of all, it comes from within. From the inner voice that whispers not enough, from the belief that failure is inevitable, from the endless comparisons, from fear that coils around the heart, from shame that presses down like a stone. Emotional stress becomes the invisible architect of disease, scripting the body into states of imbalance long before symptoms appear. And yet, in the quantum silence, there is a deeper truth. The body and mind are not separate rivers flowing apart but a single ocean stirred by different winds. The thought can quicken the heartbeat as surely as a toxin in the blood. Fear can tighten the stomach as forcefully as an injury. Guilt can weigh upon the chest as heavily as a physical blow. What the mind rehearses, the body becomes. What the heart resists, the cells mirror. And when the rehearsal is changed, the entire body changes with it. So here, in this prayer, arises a gentle invocation. To the body, let there be release. To the scars, let there be softening. To the tension held too long in shoulders and jaw, let there be an exhale so deep it unties the knot. May the trauma no longer be a silent dictator but a story remembered without pain. May the body know again the innocence of movement, the joy of breath. To the chemical storms that rage unseen, let there be balance. May the air breathed be cleaner, the food consumed richer in life, the water touched with purity. May the body's innate intelligence rise, liver and kidneys, cells and blood, all orchestrating a symphony of detoxification and renewal. May every deficiency be replenished, every imbalance realigned, until chemistry itself becomes harmony. And to the restless mind, to the tender heart, may there come peace. May the weight of inner voices dissolve like mist under the morning sun. May shame be lifted, may guilt be forgiven, may fear find its end not in suppression but in surrender. May the heart know that it is enough, that it was always enough, that even in its imperfection it radiates the perfection of existence itself. For it is known in the field that emotional stress is the master we most often serve, even without realizing. It colors perception, it shapes choices, It repeats its stories until they become the very fabric of reality. And yet, within silence, there is power to rewrite. To step back from the whirlwind of thought and see it for what it is. Energy, malleable, transient, not fixed. A belief can be dissolved. A story can be retold. A wound can be reinterpreted. And from this reinterpretation, the body finds relief, the heart finds courage, the mind finds clarity. Here is the invitation, to move from survival into creation. To stop rehearsing the same fears and instead rehearse gratitude. To pause the cycles of worry and instead generate trust. To lift the gaze from the ground of limitations to the horizon of possibility. Each thought chosen consciously becomes a new chemical in the bloodstream. Each emotion elevated creates coherence within the heart. Each choice rooted in presence becomes the seed of healing. So breathe deeply now into the body that has carried so much. Let the breath sweep through every place of tension, every scar, every cell working silently to keep you alive. With each inhale, feel renewal entering. With each exhale, release the weight of old stress. Let the mind unclench its grip. Let the heart soften. Let the body expand into its natural state of balance. In this prayer, may all three rivers of stress find their confluence in stillness, and from stillness may they find resolution. The body knows how to heal when the obstacles are released. The heart knows how to love when fear dissolves. The mind knows how to expand when it no longer clings to the past. This is not the denial of stress but its transformation. Trauma becomes teacher. Chemistry becomes balance. Emotion becomes wisdom. What once was burden becomes pathway. What once was obstacle becomes gateway. What once seemed unbearable becomes the opening into strength. So walk gently in this silence, knowing the field supports your every step. Rehearse with care the thoughts you choose. Feel fully the emotions you allow. Listen deeply to the body that speaks without words. And in this listening, discover the hidden truth, that balance is not something to chase, but something already present beneath the noise. So breathe deeply, feel fully, rehearse with care, choose with presence, and become the version of yourself you are meant to be.